Welcome back to the channel of truth, trust, and transparency. And as I have been answering quite a few questions from the audience, from you guys every single day for the last couple of months now, I've noticed a bit of a reoccurring theme in a lot of questions, a lot of people I talk to, a lot of DMs, a lot of chats I have with investors, both at that early stage in their portfolio and those ones coming through the ranks. I guess the benefit that I have had over the last couple of years is through Everything Property, I've been able to interview the very best investors, the very best people in the space, developers, you name it. I've been able to find out, what it is, what it takes to craft and put together what formula, skills, attitude, mindset is needed to be successful in this property game. And to be honest, I wanted to put this together today because I know there is, 32 people that watch my videos every single day, every single week. And I wanted to put together the 5 places where I think a lot of investors go wrong. Just talk about them all briefly, but if you can keep this in the back of your mind, if you can speak about it with, your other friends or your other group of people that's also looking to invest and build a portfolio, then I think we can, maybe align and be on the right track. But until then, there's a lot of people, all over the place. The first and one thing I will say till I'm blue in the face is no plan. Not having a plan, I would say, would have to be up there with one of the biggest mistakes that you can have. Now, what do I mean by that? If I went out there and I told you to go on a road trip, I said go on a road trip. Well, you'd go in your car and you go, okay, well, what way do I go? How long is the road trip? Where do I need to head? You can't plan anything out. You can't plan anything out because you haven't put together the map. You haven't put the plan of the road trip to say, hey, okay, we're driving from Sydney to Brisbane. It's going to take this long. This is where we're going to stop for fuel. This is where we're going to stop if we sleep. This is where we're going to drive. You don't have that plan. You haven't mapped it out. Same thing goes for property. Everyone wants to retire with 10, 20, 50, 100 properties. It is not the quantity you need to fixate on. It's the cash amount and the time frame that you need to fixate on. Why? Because pretty simply, well, if I told you that, your goal was, if I said that, if you told me that your goal was $150,000 in passive income, you said, look, I might still work or I might have some sort of job, hobby, my own business, but if I can bring in 150 grand, Dave, I'll be happy. If I told you you can do that in 4, 5 properties, would you take that option? Or would you take the 30 property option? Exact same passive income. One's got 4 or 5 sets of council rates and tax returns to do a year. One's got 30 options. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is quality over quantity, but also we need to plan this out because if you say 150 grand, then we need to know, we say, okay, well, how long do we have? What are you earning? What do you own now? Where's the liabilities? Where can we sort of make some inroads? How much cash do you have? How much cash we need to put away? How much cash can we save? And then from there we can say, okay, well, 150 is 4 properties, right? 4 properties fully paid off, bringing in, call it 40 grand, call it 45 grand per property, call it 50 grand per property after you take in expenses. But after that, we're going, okay, well, the properties need to rent for this much. That means they'll probably worth this much. If we buy them in today's dollars, how many properties, if I've got a time frame of 15 years, how long do I need to do? What do I need to do with that? So there's all these different things that then we can put together in the plan. If you don't have the plan, you're running around blind. You're running around without purpose, and you're going to lead in, which is probably number 2 mistake I see, is changing strategies, changing, what you're trying to do. I see this so often, and it's almost as if every single week, fortnight, every few months, A lot of people are out there looking to do one thing. They get all the way down the rabbit hole. Then they hear about someone else making money a different way. And then they go down that rabbit hole and then they sort of deviate. If you're changing your strategy too much, it's kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none. If you get really, really good and consistent on the type of thing that you want to do or the type of strategy and your plan, you need to get those horse blinkers on and just focus on the strategies that you need to do to unlock. The third one, and what relates to that too, these are sort of a correlation and a chain of events, is worrying about what everyone else is doing. One thing I would tell you for free in this world is that people will be successful. People will make so much money doing millions of different things, millions of different ways. If you're worrying about what everyone else is doing, where they're at, if you're earning 70, 80 grand a year and you're trying to save up for, that first investment property, call it 450, 500K market, you're over here worrying about old mate that's on 4 or 5 properties that's earning 200 grand through his business, that's trying to buy something for 7, 8, 900 grand. Is you're worrying about what everyone else is doing. Get your plan, get a clear strategy, and then focus on your own shit is going to be the quickest way that you can become successful. If you don't want to be successful and you don't want to achieve that passive income goal, that retirement goal, do the opposite to all of that. The next is going to be not tailoring the strategy to be personalized to you. What do I mean by this? Well, you'll listen to, and I've interviewed, you have people out there that are doing, let's just say, property development, and they're going out there developing, making 3, 4, 500 grand each one, onto the next. Now, you can put together and say, look, my strategy is that, but you need to tailor the strategy around what you are doing now, or consequently as well, that plan that we put together, that plan that you put together, you need to make sure that plan is personalized to where you are at the moment. There's no use saying that you need to buy 4 properties at 800 grand each if you're on $60,000 and you've got $60,000 saved, and depending your line of work, you could be on 400, 500 grand, and we go, boom, we can tailor something that is suited to you, or you're on 60 grand. You need to think about personalizing your strategy and your plan to you, yourself, your risk appetite, how much money you earn, how much money you can save, how long you want to work for. Some people don't mind what they do. I don't mind what I do. I know I'll work for a very long time in some capacity. Some people, they go 10 years, then I'm done, I'm out. You know what I mean? So you really need to think about personalizing what you want to do to what you are capable of, the field, the industry that you're in, what you do for work, all those sorts of things. There's no use setting up with a plan and strategy because someone else successful has set it for you when it does not suit or is not tailored to anything around you, your lifestyle, your income. And I guess my next thing on this as well is getting stuck in the marketing vortex, which is property investing in Australia. I don't know about you guys, but I am flooded every single day with gurus, experts, free downloads, boom locations, due diligence, checklists, all those sorts of things. This person did this person did that. We're booking for a discovery call. There is a total marketing vortex in real estate, in property investing in Australia, and it's just this thing that so many people have caught on to. And I think that if you can block out and not get sucked into the shiny things, the brand new, the house and land packages, the apartments, get sucked into that more marketing vortex. And if you really know how the industry works, you will be surprised. Maybe a topic for a podcast down the road, but you need to not get sucked into the marketing vortex. Set up, all right? To summarize, plan, get get a plan together. Make sure the plan and the strategy that you're going out, we're not chopping and changing every 2-3 months because you've heard someone else successful. You can be successful, make money in anything in life. There's people that make it in waste disposal. There's people that make it selling candles. There's people that make it developing property, buying property, selling property, all that kind of stuff. Don't chop and change your strategy. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. At the end of the day, everyone cares about themselves. So thinking that people care about what you're doing, people thinking that will judge you, they're going to do all that shit anyway. Don't get caught up in their world, worried about you and what you're doing. Tailor and personalize everything in that plan and strategy to who you are, what type of person you are, how involved you want to get, what your risk appetite is, how much money you have saved, how much money you earn, how much money you want when you are retired. Personalize it to yourself. There is not going to be another person out there to be able to do it other than you. And then block out the haters, block out the marketing vortex, block out the property spruikers, block out the ads. It's funny. On my phone, I've got a screenshot of about 6 ads from buyer's agents, and they all say the same thing. They all have a little title where they say, they have a photo, they have an exclusive or revealed, and then they have this marketing, how XYZ. And they all have the same thing, how XYZ or property or revealed secrets to this. Don't fall for it. Don't click on the ads. Don't give your details away, because these type of people, you get sucked into the marketing vortex and sold something that you don't want or you don't need. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where most investors go wrong. Avoid it. Follow those steps. And I can almost guarantee you success. As always, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. If you've got any questions, queries, thoughts, emotions, opinions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.